Hi, I'm EyeOnAiman. Welcome back to my tool review videos. In this video, I'm going to be doing an unboxing, demonstration, and initial review of the DeWalt DCPS620 hole saw. Without further ado, let's unbox it, and while we do that, we can talk about why we got this. So, first off, the reason why we got this actually is because our old neighbor on the other side of these trees used to trim those trees very nicely. Unfortunately, our old neighbor has passed away, so the trees have started going quite a lot, as you can see. So in order to make sure that they don't block the sun from getting on these plants, we have to make sure that they're trimmed. I should have talked while actually doing this. And yeah, I should have cut while actually doing this. And in order to do this, we can't just use a regular chainsaw and a ladder. That would be very dangerous. So what we did was we bought this pole saw, which seems to be packaged just like this. Okay, that's not too bad. That's very strange. This actually I don't see many tools packaged this way actually. I'm gonna try to lay it on the ground there, lay that here. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, so it doesn't look like there was a specific way to open this, but as you can see, what we have here is we have the actual saw, the extension, and the handle at the bottom here, as well as the instruction manual. Alright, so we moved to the middle, and we're actually going to go right to testing. In order to do that, we need to fill the saw with some bar and saw chain oil. So in order to do that, we're going to unscrew the cap of the reservoir, and then just fill it. Okay, so now should be good. And now, first we're going to do, we're not going to use the extension yet because it's a bit too unwieldy. First we're going to connect these two. In order to do that, we need to find the arrows on them. And right here. And then connect them. Then we take this coupler down here, link it up, and we're good to go. Alright, so before we can get started, we also have to connect the battery. Now keep in mind that this doesn't come with a battery. You actually have to buy a separate battery. And we have two options here. This one's a 20 volt flex battery, and this one's another 20 volt battery. But this one's better because it's 6 amps instead of 1.5 amps, which basically means that it has more power. So we're going to take it off and connect it. And let me demonstrate how it works. So just for safety, we'll take off the cap. And the way this works is, in order to turn on the saw, you have to use these triggers. You have to squeeze them, but you can't just squeeze them like this because this is blocking them. Alright, so we're actually going to disconnect this so it's a bit safer since we're on the grass and everything. And the way we're doing this, so that you can see more closely, is that this right here is blocking it from being pressed. So what you need to do is you need to push it back and then you can squeeze. Okay, pretty simple. Let's get to testing. Okay, let's do a demonstration. Make sure that the cap is off. This is already quite heavy. Let's do it. Okay, so let's test it on some trees. Let's go cut over there. Alright, let's give it a try. Stay away, Aurelia. Okay, let's try it on this one over here. This is a bit too thin, but it's alright. Alright, so there were two issues there. The first off is that the branch was too thin and therefore couldn't cut effectively. And the second issue was that I didn't wear all my safety gear, which I should do. And we're going to go to the front in order to better demonstrate the effectiveness of this tool. Alright, so before we go to the front, I just want to explain about these saws. Now I don't know too much about saws because my dad wouldn't let me use the chainsaws for some safety reasons. And to demonstrate why, we're going to be talking about this circular saw right here. Now this runs on AC power, so what happens is usually when you use it, you have to press the trigger in order for it to spin and to cut the wood, right? But when you stop pressing the trigger, it still spins a bit before slowing down. And that's sort of what's going on with this chainsaw right here, which is why my dad wouldn't let me use it. What would happen is that sort of when you stop squeezing the trigger, it would still spin a bit. You know, there's some other things with engine brakes and stuff, but we'll move on to the pole saw right here. When you stop pressing the trigger, it stops spinning, like instantly. All right, so let's demonstrate this with the Bosch saw. We already have it plugged in, so all you have to do is just squeeze the trigger. It didn't even get up to full speed, and it was already taking like 3 to 4 seconds to slow down. Let's try with this DeWalt saw. Okay, I'm gonna stop it now. That's about only 1 second max. Alright, let me show you with this chainsaw. So first, we have the brake on. So let's take the brake off. Okay? The importance of that was just to show you that it takes like 2 seconds to shut off. But anyway, back to specs of this. A forewarning, we actually haven't read the manual before doing this because, you know, my dad has a lot of experience with these tools. So we figured that we probably are going to be able to figure out how to use this machine. But before actually using it in the future, we're probably going to make sure that we read the manual, just to make sure. So we're actually going to extend this to its maximum, wait, hold on. Just in case. Extend it to its maximum length when we use it in the front. So, like I said before, the maximum reach is 15 feet, but the length is actually 10 feet. So, if you're 6 foot person, then you should be able to reach branches that are 15 feet high. So when we do the full review, we'll probably talk more about the specs, but just initially, this is a brushless motor, which means that there's no sparks, so it's safe near gasoline. And also, if you want to retension it, it comes with a tool right here that you can use to unscrew it, and also the tool can also unscrew these screws right here. In a future video, we'll show you how to actually replace the blade and the chain, which is what this cap is for. Also, keep in mind that, according to my dad at least, there's supposed to be an automatic oil indicator on this machine, but we couldn't really find, or was there like some beeping or something? We couldn't really find anything that indicated an automatic indicator. But anyway, we're going to link this final part up, and I think, as you can read on the actual saw, it says it's 8 inches, which means that when we measure it, it should be relatively small in comparison to this 14-inch steel. So right here, I'll take a measuring tape. You can see that this is definitely indeed 8 inches. I'm pretty sure if they said it was 8 inches and it was not 8 inches, it would be false advertising. And this is actually 16 inches. But anyway, the actual entire length of this thing, just to confirm that this 10 feet claim is true, is 8 feet and 10 inches. Okay, let me try to get that maximum. It's about 9 feet and 4 inches. All right, so maybe 10 inches is 10 feet is a bit of an exaggeration, but it's quite a lot of reach. So now we're going to go to the front and demonstrate how we can use this saw. Now, first off, I need to make sure my balance when using this saw when it's fully extended is okay. Oh my god. My center of gravity as a short person is very short, so having this up here is yikes. Okay, but anyway, let that down gently. Anyway, this battery right here should even load it just a tiny bit. Okay, let's go to the front. Alright, so just mentioned that the motor is actually at the top up there. Which might sound strange, but it actually helps when you're cutting the branches. Its heaviness also helps when you're cutting them, because basically you're basically laying the pole saw down onto the branch, so that weight sort of helps. Unfortunately, that weight also makes it a bit unwieldy. Alright, let's do it. Okay, now let's try over here. I gotta get buffer so I can lift this. But as you can see, we're able to cut a branch that was 2 inches wide. So it looks like the saw is pretty powerful and pretty efficient. Although I wouldn't use it to cut the entire chunk of a tree. Alright, so it looks like it's getting a bit dark outside. So we're actually gonna wrap it up right here so we have enough time to clean up all the tools. Tomorrow we're actually gonna bring the pole saw to my mom's friend's house so that we can trim her bushes. And there, we should be able to show you how effective this pole saw is on a long term. And also what my dad is gonna do is he's gonna finish trimming up all the branches on that side to make our trees look nice and, you know, give some sunlight to the plants. And we'll also tell you how long the battery lasts for each, you know, charge, or how many cuts it lasts for. I said in the beginning of this video, this was only an initial review, and that's why we're doing like this full, more information review for the next video. But overall, I really like this pole saw. I think even my mom could use it, though we probably can't get the maximum 15 feet range that is advertised, maybe like a 13 range. But I'm EyeOnAiman, and thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and look at other videos on EyeOnAiman. Especially take a look at that video next, because it's going to talk a lot more about the pole saw in action. But for now, I'm EyeOnAiman, and signing out.